Hey everybody, my name is Suk, and today I want to talk to you about how to make a lick your own. You come across a little move that you like and it's cool, but it's kind of like theirs. It's kind of like taking their picture off their wall and just hanging it on yours. Let's make it our own. So let's take a little Stevie Ray Vaughan lick and a David Gilmour, super quick ones, and I'm going to show you what you need to do. First, you need to learn the licks. You need to know what the notes are, and then know kind of like what chord he's playing this over. That's the first thing. Then we're going to disassemble it, kind of do it in reverse, mix it up. And then we're going to move it in string groups, and I'll show you how that looks. So let's take a look at the first lick we have. This is a Stevie Ray Vaughan lick. I'm going to think of it as B minor, kind of pattern 1. And this one involves a pick and middle finger. It's on the G and the E string. And you're going to play the 7th fret simultaneously on the G and the E with the pick and middle finger. Now the idea is that we're going to hammer on the G string with the 3rd finger. That's the core of the move right there. You've probably heard him do this a bunch of times. He'll also like pepper in the blue note. So what is he doing? He's in B minor, so we know the kind of chord and the tonal center. He does this lick on Cold Shot. He does it in Tin Pan Alley as well. Anyways, the lick itself we know is 2 simultaneous non-adjacent strings with that hammer on. So the first thing I think about is separate it. How do we disassemble this? Again, so take it apart, go the opposite of what he was doing, which was playing it simultaneously. We could play it separately. You can mix up the rhythm. I don't want to spend too much time because that can be its own thing on itself, as you can change the timing and the feel of a lick. Of course, we know how to do that. But let's say if we wanted to move this. So what I like to do is to look at the lick and ask it to do a little bit more. So the first thing I want to do is move it up and down the strings, kind of like in a sequence. Now, I never heard him do this, and this is kind of the thing I like as a lick, is ask something of the lick that they didn't do themselves. That's how you perpetuate the language. So if we took this lick, maybe if I go down, what I'm going to look at is, instead of thinking like a minor bar chord, most likely below this in the key, often, is just a major chord a whole step below this. It's a pretty common sound. So if you adapted this move, because you can't just slide it down. It might not kind of fit the key you're in with that one note in there. So you kind of have to adjust it. If you think of a chord shape, so you see how I'm doing that? I'm taking the same like orientation of the lick and keeping it in the key. I'm thinking B minor, whatever, B Dorian or something even. Now, if you use your ear or you think about the actual notes in the key, you can keep moving it. So the same shape would happen on the 4th frets, and even probably on the 2nd and 2nd frets. Then you can actually go up. Often the minor will go up to another minor chord, maybe up to a major. So you see right there, that's totally not Stevie Ray Vaughan at all sounding. That's really cool. So take a simple lick and start to sequence it up and down. That's one of the steps. The other one is moving it across the string groups. We noticed this was on the G and the E. What if I do the same lick and just hop over a set of strings? Different kind of sound, but it's still in the scale, still kind of works. What if I hop over from down the one I shifted down on? That's kind of leading to some new ideas, right? Again, this is so far from Stevie Ray, from a simple little snippet of a thing Stevie Ray Vaughan did. So again, we look at the chord it's from, we look at what the lick is, in terms, this was in the pentatonic, for instance. We kind of disassemble it and look it apart in pieces so we can separate. That's almost like a Pat Metheny lick. You know, instead of letting them overlap, what if you then apply it to the other shapes? that could start becoming a song or a riff or anything. It's really cool. Let's do the same thing with a little David Gilmour lick. So this is the second lick. This one's in E minor, as so much good David Gilmour is. It's in pattern 1 up here. And the cool thing, he does this lick at the end of on the Turning Away. He also does it albums earlier at the end of Pigs, I think, off Animals or something. It's a E minor little pull-off lick, but it adds the second to the scale, the ninth, in other words. So take it that little lick there. Then he does a little bend, a whole step. Then a half step. Then into the root. Great little move. So now what if we just take a look at that first part and do the same idea? So Gilmour is kind of separating them. What if we again do the opposite and maybe play them together? Could be cool for a type of song or something, you know? What if we moved it down or up like we did the other one? So if we, actually, let's keep disassembling it. So he kind of went down. What if I hammered and went the other way? Now Gilmour, again, wouldn't usually do that kind of lick, but you can make it your own that way. So if we take a look and move that down, so if we're in E minor, again, like I said, most of the time if you're on something minor, there's a major chord a whole step below that you can tap into. So if we looked at that lick, there's just the first part, that little sequencing part. Now if I move down in D major, kept that note in there. See how I'm doing that? There's the original. You could probably move it up. In this case, you move up just a whole step and then just move this top finger over to keep this minor G, this G note, the minor third. Pretty cool. So that's like a little device. Again, I call these devices. So now I can take it, I can move it to other sections of the scale, and we said let's move it across. This is another way we said. So we did on the two top strings. Let's go to the B and the G. Now sometimes those in-between notes you may have to maybe determined by the other chords in the song. Like when Gilmour plays this, I think he's actually playing this over an E minor like a C or a C major 7. So if I'm up here, I would know that I want to use my C note and not a C sharp. Again, something Gilmour does not do with this lick, but you totally can. So just by asking more like that. What if we separated it and split the strings out? Like we said earlier, we were disassembling the lick. So what if instead of going to the B string, I'm actually going to hop over to the G? A little more drastic sounding. Again, everything doesn't have to work or you have to like it. It gives you a chance to try this stuff. So this is how you make a lick your own. Again, don't just take someone else's picture and hang it on your wall. Take their picture, redraw it yourself, and then hang it as your own. So we took the lick. You have to learn what the lick is. Like, what are the notes and how do they relate to the chord? That's the first step. Then you can disassemble it. Maybe try it in reverse order. If it's hammer-ons, try pull-offs. If it's a bend, try a release or something, you know. There's obviously rhythmic stuff you can do to licks to obviously make them more usable in other ways. But we also talked about sequencing the idea like down the strings within the key you're in or tonal center or whatever, or across the patterns as well. This really makes the licks start to multiply in ways, and especially my favorite part is that it's not what they did. Right? We took their language and we build on it. That's the whole point, is it's supposed to grow, not just kind of recycle itself into the ground. So think about licks you know and try it out on your own and see what you come up with. You might spawn a brand new song out of it, which is again, that's the beautiful part of these seeds forever blossoming into new ideas. All right, again, my name is Suk. This is Lead Guitar Workshop. Hit the notification bell, subscribe button. Please click the links below. I'll be having a live webinars coming up about my great technique I call neck anatomy that I want you guys to check out. This is also the 6-string community where I do this stuff live every week. We have multiple classes a week, and I'd love to have you in there too. LeadGuitarWorkshop.com, 6stringcommunity.com, and as usual, I'll see you guys out there and keep playing. Right?